Hey, what's up ladies and gentle-tubers? My name is eveRide, and today I'm going to put on all of my protective motorcycle gear, then take it off slowly for your pleasure. No, I don't mean like that. As you know, one of the purposes of this channel is to help new and budget-conscious adventurers get into dual sport and adventure motorcycling. And I'm going to show you how I obtained every piece of protective equipment to be ATGATT, or all the gear all the time, for less than $350. This includes a helmet, waterproof jacket, riding pants, motocross boots, chest protection, back protection, elbow, shoulder, and knee protection, hip pads, a neck brace, and more. Before we get into it, if you prefer skipping my lecture on why I ride ATGATT, you can use these annotations to skip around this video and see the gear that interests you the most. Now, if you're brand new to adventure riding or enduro, the idea that you procure everything you need at once and wear it every time you ride no matter what might seem like a seriously expensive proposition and perhaps even overkill. However, the total sum of all of the gear I'm wearing came in at less than $340, which is less than what you'd pay for some helmets or individual pieces of armor all by themselves. Now obviously I'm not touting any of these pieces of equipment to be the best on the market or the most protective or even the most fashionable. However, they have saved me from serious and minor injuries on several occasions, and for a rider who'd like to be ATGATT but is on a budget, these items have been tested for years and stood out as the best budget gear in the crucible of enduro in Utah and Arizona's Badlands. Motorcycle armor is like a form of insurance, and if you don't have all of it, you're gambling that a certain part of your body will be struck while another part of your body goes unharmed. Riding without a helmet or without some armor just doesn't make a lot of sense. Many riders choose to wear ATGATT to mitigate the risk while riding. So here is my dirt cheap ATGATT setup, complete with pros, cons, brief reviews, and prices. There are links to every one of these items in the description at the lowest prices that I could find in my research. And using those links that I've provided supports this channel and helped me to create more budget-friendly riding tip videos. Now, if you find a lower price than what is listed in the links, please share it in the comments below. I'd much rather help people find the lowest prices than make the commissions on these sales, because if this channel doesn't showcase the best values out there, then I'm not doing right by my viewers. Now again, these are budget-friendly pieces of equipment, and I find these things to be the best value for protection per dollar. Each of them passes my test of value for money, durability, protection, and function, tested over several years against several similar products. So let's get started with the helmet. This is an AFX FX39. The FX39 is also produced by Fly as the Fly Trekker, but with a higher price tag, a D-ring strap instead of a ratcheting strap, and from what reviews have said, less quality components like cheaper padding, and the lenses are slightly more prone to scratching. So I would definitely recommend the AFX version over the more expensive Fly Trekker. This helmet allows for use of goggles, has a variety of aftermarket face shields and lenses, and comes in a slew of colors at different price points. Since this is an ATGATT video and we're talking about safety, I do recommend the high vis. It's just easier for other people to see. It's a decent weight for a budget helmet, lighter than most dual sport helmets around this price point, but not lighter than motocross helmets that don't have the face shield. Wind noise is an issue at high speeds, but a pair of earplugs makes this a non-issue when on the highway. Also, when you're riding on the highway, as with any dual sport helmet with a peak, I would recommend removing the peak or the visor. On the FX39, this only takes 3 finger-turnable screws and you're done. This helmet is a favorite of dual sport rental outfits, fits just slightly snug to size, and costs anywhere from $80 to $150 depending on the color choice and size. The cheapest fixed prices can be had on Amazon.com in the link below, or you can use the eBay link in the description to automatically search for auctions and perhaps score an even lower price. The next piece of gear is this EVS Neck Brace from Amazon.com. I've had experiences where I've crashed with and without this brace on, and I can say that even in slower crashes, it's nice to have something that the helmet butts up against instead of making your head flop around. I've also found it to be comfortable on longer journeys to rest the weight of my helmet on my shoulders. While most neck braces cost anywhere from $40 to $250 and are more for hardcore motocross, this basic neck protection can be had for less than $20 and functions similarly without some of the pricier bells and whistles. For the kind of riding done by dual sport adventurers, this piece of protection may seem like overkill. But from my own experience, having crashed with and without it, it is definitely better than nothing, even at the low speed stacks. One of the most critical items to wear during riding of any type is gloves. Here I've got a thicker leather armored glove on my left hand and a warm weather glove on my right. The thick leather glove has armor in all the right places and has excellent protection. They're warm enough down to about 40 degrees and tolerable to about 90. They have gauntlets so that they go slightly up the sleeve to prevent wind from going up there, armored knuckles, joints, and are really quite comfortable. These are Decade gloves, and depending on the Amazon or eBay seller, they're available anywhere from $11 to $45. I've gone through 2 pairs of these gloves and tens of thousands of miles, and each pair has only cost me about $20 shipped. The warm weather gloves are simply mechanics gloves from the Home Depot. The leather across the fingers and palms is thick enough to stand up to a slide, but with gloves meant for warmer weather like these, you do give up some protection on the knuckles. That's not a problem though, there are plenty of mechanic gloves out there with bits of rubberized armor across the fingers and knuckles, all relatively inexpensive. On to the jacket. This is a BiLT Typhoon jacket from Cycle Gear. It comes in black, gray, and red. I chose red for the visibility factor. Now, like any budget waterproof motorcycle jacket, you can either have breathability or waterproofing, but rarely both. That is also the case with this jacket. The jacket is nicely waterproof, but any amount of waterproofing is pointless if you just get sweaty inside. Zip vents on the front and back allow for some airflow, and you can remove the inner lining to help, but this is best worn on cold or rainy days. It has thin armor padding on the elbows, shoulders, and spine, and the fabric has been shown to be quite durable through brief slides over the desert floor. This can be purchased through Cycle Gear in the link below and is often on sale for around $100. If it's not, this jacket can be a good find on eBay, and even then, similar styles are almost always available for that price at Cycle Gear, and the difference between jackets seems to be mainly in the look. Depending on the weather, I usually leave the jacket off. When riding with or without a textile jacket, I always wear this TMS armor underneath, even on long-range adventure tours. This is a very close clone of the popular $150 Fox Titan. It has molded plastic armor cups over a thin layer of gray padding, a durable mesh shell meant to be worn close to the skin, armor for your chest, shoulders, elbows, and forearms, and an articulating spine piece. It has open armpits and a bit of a lacking kidney belt in the front, but rear protection looks to be the same as the Titan. Some of the differences between the two are the thumb loops on the cheaper version, slightly thinner padding under the plastics, and much cheaper zippers. It's breathable and lightweight, so I feel as comfortable wearing this armor in the 100-degree desert heat as I do wearing it under a jacket, jersey, coat, or even a hoodie. Reviews of this product indicate a hit or miss quality control. Some people like me buy it and love it. From the comments in my other review videos of this jacket, the vast majority of buyers think it's a great buy. I've had this one and crashed in it many times for more than a year and a half and over 10,000 miles of no mercy adventure and enduro. Not only have I crashed in it many times, but I've submitted it to a veritable torture of cleaning. When it's dirty, I simply hose it off and let it dry in the sun. I ride in this at least twice a week, rain or shine, and the only issues I've had are the rear zippers and this little hole in the sleeve. When I said hit or miss quality before, I should clarify. This armor comes a size small, so if you're a large, get an extra large. Most guys my size, a standard medium to large t-shirt, have found this armor to be an excellent value. Guys who need to order a size double extra large or bigger are usually the ones to have the problems. This armor is a very close clone of the $150 Fox Titan and similar armor shirts, and is a steal at $110 less, a mere $40 shipped. I highly recommend this armor. Now on to the pants. In most cases, new riding pants will start at about $80 to $100 and more. My last 2 pairs of pants I've purchased in my size, which is a common waist size of 34 to 36, slightly used, on eBay for $20 and $25 respectively. Your mileage may vary, but both of the pants came in nearly new condition with no defects or holes. For desert riding, I prefer pants that zip off at the knee like the Shift Recon pants. I also prefer pants that fit over the boot and have zip-open vents. Now for me, pants are really just pants that can stand up to some abuse. My most recent pair of riding pants was found at a thrift store for $10, and they are nearly new. I don't really have a solid recommendation on what pants to buy, but I do suggest that if you're on a budget, you look for slightly used pants at thrift stores or on eBay. Personally, I wouldn't pay more than $25 for a pair of standard riding pants. As for the waterproof variety, cheaper options will be far less breathable and quite bulky. However, for me this isn't much of an issue since I do most of my riding in the desert. When I have needed waterproofing, or at least water-resistant pants, I've picked up some spray-on waterproofing and it has worked quite well on my cheaper-than-dirt used pants. Underneath my pants, and here's where things get sexy, or awkward, are these ARC riding shorts from Rocky Mountain ATVMC. Now there has long been a lack of hip and pelvis padding for motorcycle riders, and most offerings seem very thin and almost pointless. But this is the best I could find for the money. Very thin hip and butt pads will help a little, but not much. However, wearing these while riding is markedly more comfortable than without, as the padding extends along the saddle area. For $20, I would recommend these. Now this is an area that I feel shouldn't be skimped on, and that's knee protection. Now keep in mind some knee braces are hundreds of dollars, even thousands, and will protect your knee from twisting injuries. However, for my budget, I needed something that would offer added shin protection under the boot, full knee protection, and a third strap over the thigh to keep the guard in place. Many budget knee guards come with the knee cups that tend to bend forward in a crash and leave no protection near the top of the knee if they slide down. Other knee guards offer articulating protection over the knee, but the build quality is so poor that they're almost useless. This $15 set of TMS knee guards required me to replace the plastic grommets with zip ties just to stay together. There seemed to be almost nothing that offered decent upper knee protection and cost less than $90, until I found the ARC Corona knee guard from Rocky Mountain ATVMC. This guard is nearly identical to more expensive articulating knee guards for just $25 and has protected my knees in some crashes that could have been extremely painful or ended my riding season for good. Now again, these guards won't protect from the twisting injuries like a full brace, but for protecting from bumps and bruises over the full knee, these do great. They are quite large for a guy my size, but crisscrossing the lower straps in the back of the guard make them fit nice and snug within my boot. Now the final pieces in my ATGATT setup are my boots, and I prefer wearing full motocross style boots whether I'm on the road, taking long-term adventures, or riding in the dirt, even though they are very stiff. The first time I wore MX boots I was in Moab, and the full weight of my DRZ 400 basically rode my lower leg down a slab of sandstone via the swing arm. If I was wearing anything less than full motocross boots, I'm sure my leg would have snapped. As it stood, I was able to easily ride away. Now it's almost unavoidable, but boots are very expensive. Even the most budget-conscious boots will cost at least $100, and finding used boots for less than that price is also difficult. However, a $50 pair of used boots is possible to come by in the classifieds, but an even better deal can be had at thrift stores. These Oxtar boots that I wear all the time once retailed for over $300, but I snagged them for $10 at my local thrift store. Now getting boots for this cheap isn't easy and might take some patience. I suggest looking in local online classifieds, trolling thrift stores, or checking eBay in the link below. Even on eBay, used motocross boots can be quite pricey. However, I have found some O'Neill boots on Amazon for a decent price brand new. I've never tried them, but the reviews seem quite positive. Again, I'll put a link for you to check out in the description below. Motocross boots offer crush protection, which is critical, I think, for off-road riding. However, even combat boots will be better than tennis shoes or low boots for riding off-roads because they at least have some skid protection for your ankles. If you can, get some steel toes. Well, ladies and gentle tubers, I hope you're able to find some amazing deals on gear that will make your ride a little safer, a little more comfortable, and a lot less expensive. If you've got any questions or comments about any of this gear, or if you find a lower price on something you feel is a great value, please leave it in a comment below. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button, and if you'd like to see more budget-friendly gear videos, reviews, riding tips for new riders, and adventures, click that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, much love, eveRide out.